that's not in Stratford.
That house is still there.
Is it?
Yeah.
Who said that? Who? The house is still there.
The house is still there, those barns are not there.
The house is still there.
Yeah, the house is right there.
Wow.
Just south of Main Street.
Very good. Thank you.
You can see, if you go up to 37, you can see the bridge above.
Yeah, you can. Right. Very true. Here is the Stratford Pavilion. This was typical of the pavilions at Stratford where they had dancing halls and so forth. I'm not exactly sure where that was in Stratford, to be honest with you. Big space. That's the old building in Stratford. That's the old dance hall. But they had them all along the line for people to. Now this is this is a railroad shot. This is looking south along the Hocking Valley on the west side of Delaware. There's the Delaware Station, the old Chesapeake and Ohio Freight House. The lines were double track. It's single track now. I remember when they took out the double tracks back in maybe the 70s, perhaps. But this would be William Street right here. That's looking south, north to south. This is an interesting view of downtown Delaware. This is the old City Hall, which sat where the current City Hall sits now, but that building burned in 1934. One of downtown Delaware's most spectacular fires, along with William Street Church in 1971. That was a spectacular fire in 1934. It's interesting because fire destroyed that building, yet the fire department was right on the first floor. But this is looking south, probably about Winter Street, south to William Street. You can see the two CD&M cars, the tracks, horse and buggy, and so forth. It looks like, I can't really tell, but I'm not sure if the street is paved or not. It's hard to tell in this picture, but you know, probably late 1890s, 1910, something like that would be the vintage of that. Here's another view of a CD&M car heading north. This is looking southeast at the intersection of Winter Street and Sandusky. There is the old City Hall in the background. This is the old hotel that was torn down in 1976 to build the PNC Bank building. That hotel was known by many names over the years: the American House, the Donovan House, the Fort Delaware Hotel. Many of us remember that hotel. Now, many people have asked me, what happened to this statue that stood right out in front of where my office is today? My office is right here. Marilyn Kreider, who many of you remember, she was a fixture in the Historical Society for generations. Marilyn told me that it was an auto crash in the 1930s that took out that marvelous statue there. But I have been asked by many, and Marilyn finally got me the answer. She said it was an auto accident in the 1930s that took that statue out.
So it's not in your garage?
If I can have a piece of derelict old piece of streetcar track, I can have about anything. There you go. That was a good one. Now, this building, I took this picture back in the early 1990s. Anybody know the significance of that building? Car barns. That building still exists. It's on East Harrison Avenue. Sandusky Street is right over here. Worley Plumbing Supply. There are doors, large doors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, probably about 8 to 10 doors. Each of those doors had a track running into it. Those were the Delaware car barns for the CD&M. That building very much exists today. The reason I put that in there was because it's one of the best examples of the CD&M that still exists today. So every time that you go get a pizza at Marco's Pizza, which sits right over here, and you look down to the west end of this building, just think that at one time, those were streetcars, the interurbans that went in and out of this building for service. This is a great shot. This is Ohio Wesleyan University. This is looking northeast from probably around Park Avenue. There's a Delaware Dinky streetcar, either coming up the street or going down it. There's Great Chapel. This is, that's Sturgis. This is the old chapel building that was torn down to make room for Slocum Library in the late 1890s. Thompson Chapel was the name of that building. And Thompson Chapel is now gone, but the mansion, the old Mansion House Hotel, Elliott Hall, is sitting over here. That has a rich history, but you can see just still that it's an unpaved street. So that tells me it was the 1890s. 1890s. Okay? We're getting there. Just bear with me. We've got some. This is an interesting slide.